for me!
We're coming in!
Shock spear out!
Nice one! Up for cover!
Would you like to know more?
Would you like to know more?
Would you like to know more?
Great!
When we started, we wanted to make sure that we were making something that played to our strength. But at the same time, we want to bring something new to the table.
Players are always craving something fresh and a game that is not exactly like something they've played before.
I think everyone was on board with fantasy meets ballistic guns. We thought, okay, well, we don't want to do sci-fi. What is the other conceit that we could make? It's like, well, Magic will let us do that.
We wanted to integrate more fantasy elements into a shooter. We knew that we wanted to do like an FPS game. That's our core, that's our bread and butter.
We know how to make shooting feel really good. So we focused on that first.
We're not going to make another BR, we're not going to make an extraction shooter.
We liked the open world. We liked the base building, we liked the survival elements, we liked the mobility on mounts.
It's taking all these elements from these different modes and putting them together.
And then that kind of transitioned into our prototyping phase.
The key is to fail fast, right? Because if you can fail a bunch quickly, you just learn a bunch fast. You can get to the good product faster.
We have people totally trying new things and taking big swings because we're small.
Every playtest, there is buckets of feedback. We pride ourselves on finding the fun, and it's sacred when you find it.
The things that survived from the beginning were pretty much raid related.
A raid is where you bang on someone else's base and say, I'm here, and I'm gonna f you up, or maybe not that word.
The raid is the driving factor in most of our choices, from the characters to the weapons, to the raid tools, to the mounts, to the push and pull, the sword.
It's very fun, especially when you're like invading a base.
Each base is different. We try to give it an identity. We try to give it like history and kind of has its own personality and has its own gameplay.
We discovered that we could make really strong expressions of layout, opportunities where we could go bold.
My favorite one is probably Bell Ringer. It has like the 3 bell towers. It has like candles on these like curved interiors. I love just kind of seeing how the light plays off of it.
The cool thing about our bases in our world is that those bases are discovered in Highguard. Who discovers them are our wardens.
When you take story and you think about characters deeply and you think about Highguard and this mysterious land, everything is reinvesting in the world we are building.
One thing that we wanted to do was make sure that like our magic felt not hand wavy. So everything kind of like emanates from a source on the characters, and the characters is kind of what creates that magic.
My favorite warden right now is Scarlet. I really enjoy her shifting sands ability. It's one way that you can silently get into the base, and then the enemy's like totally confused.
Our wardens, I would say, are there to complement our guns in terms of lethality, but they're meant to add tactical and strategic depth to the overall match.
It's exciting. You're at the beginning of a match. You don't know what's going to happen. Endless opportunities.
All the character abilities and the destruction and the gunplay all come together into this really frenetic fight. Philosophically, we are a gun-first game. We want to make sure that gun-on-gun combat is the primary way that you are succeeding in combat.
The guns specifically, I was very hardcore about. Our guns need to be ballistic guns. I want to see people rack it. I want to see all the inner workings of it.
When we shoot the gun, we wanted to make sure that there are tons of moving parts. We want to see like animators being able to have their full creativity to like bring these guns to life.
So we wanted to start from a really grounded, realistic standpoint. When I'm firing a gun, I'm enveloped in it. I know what it is. That is a 5.1 surround design experience to put you behind the gun and make you feel like you're really there firing it.
So in Highguard, one of our unique things is our mix between close quarters combat in a raid scenario and open world battles, mounted combat. We have to be mindful of creating guns that are fun in all those scenarios.
Base rating is this like intense like peak of action, right? And it's cranked to 11, but we learned that being cranked to 11 the entire time is a lot of fun, but it's not something you can play for 3-4 hours, right? You need some better pacing there. And that's where the open world kind of helped, right? That's where that pacing break came in.
The differentiator factors from our game, I think there are 3 things actually. The loop is very unique, and then I don't think you see a lot of shooters out there that do fantasy. And then the third one is mount combat.
There's this really strong fantasy of like being on a horse and just like shooting people on a horse. One of the designers prototyped it really quick, and very quickly that became like, oh, this is the sauce.
He ended up making a bear, and you're like riding the bear. It was so magical, kind of like running through. The team really latched onto it. I think it kind of set the tone to where everybody was like, oh man, I want to like fulfill that fantasy. I want to play that.
Mounts were created for traversal at first, and then we were like evolving it to be more combat.
The open world is a totally different animal, right? Cover is really far apart, and it's a different kind of fight. And the way mounts incorporate into that combat is honestly super fun.
You want to have kind of like these rolling vistas that promote mount combat. You want there to be excitement to be able to like get out and go roam.
The beauty about Highguard is that we're just at the surface. The characters have just found certain parts of that land, but they're going to continue to discover new things.
Highguard is a lost continent that has suddenly reemerged mysteriously, missing in action for hundreds of years, to the point where most people in this world don't even believe it's real.
Highguard itself is kind of a land of mystery, and each map is a snapshot of what that continent used to look like.
Closer to where Highguard was rediscovered, we stick with a lot more modern architecture. You got a lot of very big machinery. You have a giant wall, you have steam vents. The more we go inland, the more magical and ancient it gets.
When Highguard first returned, everyone rushed to this land, and they all died. It became clear that the only ones who could survive in this magical land are those with that gift of magic.
And they are brought to this place by a mysterious organization called the Iron Vigil.
At first, when you meet the Iron Vigil, they are the ones who help bring you to the land of Highguard.
They're in a position of power because they broker all of the contracts that the Wardens take on. You see all of these characters being drawn like a moth to the flame to Highguard, and over time you're going to see how big that flame gets.
We've picked our favorite things here and there, but I feel like we found a vision and stuck to it and created something that's genuinely new.
We knew when we started we wanted to make a shooter, and we knew we wanted to make something that was live service. And so we've been planning for that for a very long time. In fact, we already have a year's worth of post-launch content already deep in development.
There's a lot of live service fatigue right now, right? These games tend to hit you with a FOMO, which I think players have gotten wise to, for good reason. We're building a game that people want to come back to.
So the way our post-launch plan is broken up is what we call episodes. So each episode will be roughly 2 months, broken into 2 halves. We'll have a part 1 and a part 2. With launch, we'll have a special occasion with an episode 1, and that'll bring 5 maps, 6 bases, 8 wardens, 10 weapons with 11 mods that change up how those weapons play, over a dozen other items in the loot pool, and 3 raid tools, all at launch day. And then, just in a couple of weeks, we're going to have episode 2, which kicks off with a new warden, a new mount type, a brand new map, and we're really excited to bring our first new mode, Ranked, to the table. So that'll be coming in 2 weeks. And then from there, we'll be in our regular cadence.
Watch and burn.
What I'm most excited for people to experience with this game is the care and the attention that went into making the gameplay satisfying and rewarding.
You put all this love into a project and feel like you went to battle together, and to put that creative project in front of the world to play and get the feedback and see the joy it brings people, you just want to keep doing that.
I love my job. And part of that is I love this team. I'm just trying to have fun.
But we want the community to feel like they don't need to read an entire book before they play the game. We want them to feel like they are a part of that book and be a part of the journey as we kind of discover it with them.
Going from a blank page to a game that We are excited to play on the weekends. So I'm proud of the game, but I'm proud of the team getting to that point.
This is